boy. Hello, 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 family. I know we are about to have a real conversation tonight. So I hope you got your thumbs ready. I hope you got the index finger ready. You're going to be typing in some questions. And I got to say, this right here is part of our Just the Two of Us series. We're going to be talking about real talk tonight about why she has your successful seconds. So many times we say, how she got my sloppy, oh, she just got my sloppy seconds. No, it's not about that. And we got to really think about this. Many of us, we are out there binge watching TV and real life TV and all that stuff. And it has taught us nothing. The most it probably has taught us is that relationships can be very messy. Relationships can be also, they can be miracles, okay? But the TV is not what teaches you how to treat your man, okay? It's not what, listen, personal experience for me proves it too. From my eight-year-old little romance I thought I had going on to the most recent breakup drama. Love isn't easy, and we got to know that. And you know what? It's a life lesson that we all know too well, that love is not easy. However, it can be simple. So I'm going to tell you this, no matter what your status is, whether you are single, dating, engaged, or married, relationships take work, ladies. It takes work. Whether they end up with tears or you super happy about whatever happened, or they last until forever. It seriously depends on a whole bunch of factors. Your actions, your words, your thoughts. And undoubtedly, you do play a role, my sister. You play a role in all of it. So y'all might not love me too much tonight. And I got a real man on here tonight to talk. We'll ask some questions too. So like I said, you got to get your fingers ready. But listen, you may not like me after this. It's like super real talk. And one thing is that you got to really give yourself a competitive advantage when you're playing this game of love. Okay, and soak up all the wisdom that you can from, I'm not going to say relationship therapist, but I'm going to say it anyway. Yeah. But really, just real talk, real men and real women who are going through it, been through it. And on Just the Two of Us series, we talk about this real life discussion. So now we're going to distill it down just a little bit, because we're going to have this conversation tonight with a real man that talks to us and answers questions as to why he believes, now hear me clearly, why he believes women lose men, and then to some other blessed chick that gets all the improvements that you thought you worked so hard to lose. You might have to hit rewind to really get that. But the bottom line is, sometimes we get so hung up on our expectations that we miss how beautiful our relationships are, and then the lessons that they're teaching us. And then we lose a good man and it's too late. Okay. All right. So I'm going to say there's really no such thing as a failed romance or a failed relationship, but they do take work and they evolve into what they're supposed to be. You just got to stop tripping. Okay, you got to stop tripping. So we're going to talk about that tonight. So I've got it already open. We've got the comment section open. I know some of you are sharing right now. Please do. We're ready for you to share. And we just need your questions. We need your questions. And I'm going to hold on for just a second. Uh-oh, did I lose? I lost to my guest. Where did he go? Uh-oh, that's what StreamYard does to you sometimes, doesn't it? I love StreamYard, but he'll be back in a minute. So we're going to give him a second to come back, okay, to click back in. Hopefully it didn't boot him off all the way. But we're going to talk about this thing because I had a really detailed conversation with him, okay? And he was telling me, first of all, I asked him, how do you define a real man? That's what I asked him. What is a real man? And now while I'm going to wait for him to come back, I'm going to go ahead and type this, tell you what he said to me, because I wrote it down. I was interviewing him in regards to what a real man is considered, because he was like, no, a real man, if you lose a real man as a woman, you need to really take that lesson back. But a lot of women don't know what a real man is what he said. And so I said, okay, well, you tell me what a real man is. So he said, you know what? A real man is somebody who is secure. He is secure in his skin. He feels confident about himself. That's what he said. He said, I'm secure. Okay. He said, you know what? And if a woman comes to me and begins to talk about, her old flame or her old relationship and all of that, he said, I'm going to check her because I don't want to hear about that. I'm here and I'm devoted. I'm home every day. I'm providing for my family. I make sure that everything's taken care of. Sometimes I have to take on 2 and 3 jobs to make sure it's taken care of. And my wife may not even know what I'm doing. So he's like, listen, I'm secure. Okay. I'm secure in who I am. I'm secure in the type of husband that I am. So he said, that's how you know you got a real man. Okay. So that was number 1. He also said, number 2, real men get out and take care of their jobs. They get out there and they take care of everything they're supposed to take care of. Like I said, they might have 2 or 3 jobs going on and nobody really knows. The wife doesn't know that he's got all these different hustles. Oh, looks like he's coming back. I can't tell. There he is. Okay, there he is. There he is. So anyway, he said a real man. Hey, did I get you back? Are you back? I don't know if I can see. Wait, are you back? Uh-oh, I think you're having some problems over there, brother. I can't hear you. Are you there? I don't know if you're there or not. Okay, but anyway, he said that the woman won't even know that, he's got these 2 or 3 jobs going on. That's a real man, because all she knows is she's making a little or a lot, but he's making sure that everything's taken care of. The bills, anything that needs to be fixed, anything that needs to be maintained, all of those kind of things, you don't have to ask him. That's a real man. That's what he told me. That was number 2. Actually, that was number 2 and number 3. And he, as a real man, he told me knows how to combine everything. The family man, the businessman, the Mr. Fix-It man, all that. He's like the backbone. Okay. Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, he's back. So I just was giving you a definition of what a real man was. So we see this little light behind you. I don't know what that is, but I guess you're there. So
yes, I am.
Okay, cool. So I want you to tell these ladies what a real man is first, because I think that's the thing that when we were talking about this relationship thing, we were talking about, what happens when we lose a real man and we think, we don't really realize it sometimes. We don't see it. It's right there in front of us. So when you say definition of a real man, what is that?
Well, let me ask your audience, what do they consider a real man to be? In their eyes, what is a real man supposed to do?
What is a real man supposed to do? Okay, y'all type in the comments. We waiting. The viewers that are on now, what do you consider to be a real man? What is a real man to you? It might take them a minute for the comments to pop up. But what's a real man? What would be number 1? What would be number 2? What would be number 3? What is at the top of the line? I don't see the comments coming in yet. So we want to hear from you. All right. So the comments ain't came in yet. Sometimes they're a little bit slow coming in. You tell us. You said you are a real man. So you tell us what is a real man considered, especially from your homies or, guys you might collaborate with or whatever. What do you consider a real man?
A real man steps up to the plate to do exactly what it is he's supposed to do with family unit.
Okay.
Most real men that are able, of course, will take care of most of the household family bills to make sure everything in the household is in order. And just generally be that rock for that woman to stand on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. He'll be that rock for that woman to stand on. He's going to take care of the bills. He's going to take care of the maintenance of things. He's going to make sure ain't nothing getting shut off and all that. Okay.
Yeah.
I see some more viewers coming in. Hey, y'all. The question on the floor was, can you tell us what in your idea, ladies, what is a real man, first of all? What do you consider? What are the qualities of a real man? Now, our guest here said, he's going to take care of the bills. He's going to make sure the maintenance things are done. He's going to make sure he's a backbone of that family. Kids know they got daddy if there's kids involved. Wifey knows She's got a solid person to support the family. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Just type it in the comments, and I've got everything sitting here so it'll pop up when you start typing. Y'all know how we do. So the question on the floor was that. That was number one. Number two, why do men leave women? They love them. They love them to death. But why do they leave them? That is the biggest question or conversation that I wanted to have with this man that we interviewed. You know, why do y'all leave us? What's one reason that you would leave a woman that you love? What did she do? What happened?
The question is, what did she used to do, or what did she stop doing, or what is it
Wow.
that she's not doing?
I
The same
like it.
thing you did to get that man is the same thing you have to do to keep that man.
Okay. 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 And see, you know what? What did she used to do? What she stopped doing? That's kind of the same thing. And what did she do to get you that she's not doing anymore? That's kind of like all the same thing. Yeah.
Yes.
So women, I gotta say this. So women will say, wait a minute, I done got a little older. I done got a little tired. I got you now. So why I gotta do all that? What do you say to that, Mr. Real Man?
What you don't do, somebody else will.
Wow. Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Most
And you know,
women don't understand. Um, you know, women are the backbone to strong men. We rely on you all when we can't be around. If we're working, we'll put in the extra hours. There's certain things that maybe we're supposed to do at the house, or we're supposed to do in the family unit that we can't get done because we're out trying to make ends meet to make sure that you all are comfortable at home. You
hmm,
know, oftentimes women do not bag that man up, support that man the way they should to make sure that they take the slack up, for that man when he's out doing what he needs to do.
hmm, wow. Wow. I see what you said. Hey there, Sister Lisa Richmond. I heard you say truth. That's right. We got a sister on here saying that's real. You know, a real man. We're not talking. I know when I interviewed you and we were having a conversation, you were like, "There's a difference between a real man and boys." Okay, there's totally
It
difference.
is.
And when a woman loses a real man, it's because, like you just said, you know, you're expecting her to kind of hold what she's supposed to hold down. You know, while
Absolutely.
you take care of what you're supposed to take care of. That's number one. You
Hmm.
know, and so one of those things would be like what? Like, what is a real man expects the woman that he loves to hold down what?
Listen, oftentimes when you have a successful real man, meaning
Mhm.
he runs, he's a CEO of a business, he's a general manager of some corporation, store, major facility, or he has his own business. He's an entrepreneur. That's very time consuming. And often we do not have the time to do some of the smaller things that a regular guy would probably do working a 9 to 5. So we
Mm,
rely on that strong woman to be our backbone to make sure that our family unit can stay intact and we don't lose that bond with her nor our kids. Meaning, weekend outings, meaning, you know, Friday date nights, meaning vacations, making sure that she plans vacations when we can't get that done to make sure that the family unit stays intact, to make sure that we all as a unit, kid, wife, keep that bond. Most women don't understand that we rely on them to do that.
wow.
They're our rock, and that's how
Wow.
you keep that family intact. And a lot of women frown upon that. And we're out here doing the things that we need to do to make sure you all okay. We're not asking you guys to jump off cliffs. We're just asking you all to support us, help us, and to make sure that we can do the things that we need to do out here to make sure you're okay at home. Just small things, planning vacations, the weekend outings with the kids and the wife, and or the weekend outings just with the wife. You know, make those plans to keep that bond intact. Oftentimes you all say, "Well, I'm too busy. I got this to do. I got to take kids over here, and I got to go pick the kids up, and I got to go drop the kids off." In my mind, I say, "Okay, I tell you what. I go drop the kids off. I go do
Mm,
all the small things you do. How about you pay the mortgage, pay all these bills I'm paying, pay these car notes, pay the insurances? How about you fix the roof? Do everything that I do. Let me just take the kids here and pay this one credit card bill over here, just pay the life insurance over here. Let me do the things that you do, and you stand in my shoes and can understand how I feel." Most
wow.
women take that for granted, and then they start to wonder why men start to drift.
Wow. That's deep. Deep. I hope viewers, y'all are listening. This is I actually know him personally. So, that's real talk. And that's a lot of our men that they don't come out and say that, right? A lot of times the men, because men are from, what's that book? Men are from Venus, women are from Mars. I don't know, whatever it is, but we're different, right? And so we handle things differently. And so a lot of men don't like communicate like women communicate. So you don't hear it, but you see it. So, ladies, if you see your man kind of drifting, here's a real man who just said it. They begin to drift because they've got so much on their back. A real man. We're not talking about boys, remember. This is real talk. We want our family units to stay together. So, we're talking about men that are out there making it happen. He's like, look, you want me to go drop off the kids a little bit, but I gotta fix the roof, and I'm a real man. Remember, I'm a CEO of a business over here, and I'm taking care of this. I got a lot on my back. I gotta make sure y'all eat. I gotta make sure the lights stay on. I gotta make sure the life insurance and the car insurance I got a lot on my mind. And you tell me to go. We get in our emotions, and I'm just gonna put it out there because I've been there as women. Oh, I need help with this. If we do, we definitely can outsource that help sometimes. We got family members we can lean on. But if you got a real man, a rock solid man that's out there doing, making it do what it do and providing, some of those things we have to kind of balance, whether we're going to talk about them or not. Or I mean, we should talk about them, excuse me, we should communicate. But whether we're going to nag or, what I hear you saying is that we tend to complain about things that we probably can outsource somewhere else versus having the man that's probably own a business and working a couple of jobs to make ends meet for his family, is what I think I hear you saying.
It is. It's just that over a period of time, I think women tend to take us men for granted.
Mm,
And it's human nature. I mean, I get it. It's like anything else in life. But men are simple. We don't require a lot. It's just a few things that we have to have. And one is that support. We have to have that support. We have to know that we're appreciated and we're wanted and we're needed. When a woman actually gets to a point where she starts to take her man for granted, a real man for granted, he
mm,
shuts down. And I'll tell you, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, and he's been married about 10 years. And
mm-hmm,
he's got a regular wife, being that she works a regular job, doesn't make a whole lot of money, and everything was good for the first 7 or 8 years. She got to a point where she got complacent, started complaining about different things, and this guy, he owns a bunch of 18-wheeler trucks, makes pretty good money. They live in a pretty good home. He takes care of everything. She doesn't really have to do anything much other than, pay her personal bills. She doesn't pay any household bills. It just got to the point where, she started withholding sex. Didn't really
mm,
want to do much with him. He would ask her to plan vacations and different stuff. She wouldn't plan them, make excuses for not doing it. But at the same time, turn around, when it comes to her family, she's doing different things with her family. She goes on different vacations with her family, meaning her biological sisters, her, stuff like that, and not doing what this man's asking her to do. And of course, eventually. her not paying attention to him, making excuses for not having sex with him, not cooking much anymore. He drifted and end up talking to another woman. And
Mm.
mind you, this other woman is 6 figures plus. And the crazy part, talking to him, listening and understanding that his wife doesn't make much money. She complains about certain things that she feels he should do,
Mm-hmm.
literally getting off his job, take care of everything at home to come do these small things that she should be able to do with no problem because she's not really taking care of, much at the house
Mm.
and just steadily putting the guy down. Long story short, this other woman that this guy met that does pretty good herself does
Mm.
everything for this guy, constantly asking him what can she do, how can she make things easier for him, cooking for him, just I mean sex. I mean the guy basically told me, he has to tell her stop, leave him alone. He can't do anymore. It's different. You have a woman like that does everything for you, wants to be there for you, a support system, and then you got the other woman, she gets complacent after 7 or 8 years, and
Mm.
uh, and I don't want to do that stuff anymore. Don't want to help out. Don't want to be a backbone. At the end of the day, she's wondering, what did I do? What happened? You know, feeling like this a woman. Am I less than a woman? What did I do to deserve this? She starts asking
Mm.
all these different questions, instead of looking in the mirror to understand that, men are simple. They don't require much. It's just that you did not continue to do the same things you did to get him, basically.
Wow. So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You know I'm about to go there. And I think I heard everything you said. So please check me if I didn't. So, two things. Did he communicate with her? Do you know?
Constantly, constantly,
Okay.
constantly
Did they ever
communicating,
go
letting
to?
her know he's not happy. He doesn't like the way he feels, and asking her for different things, of course trying to have sex with her, setting up different date nights and different stuff and
Okay.
so her getting attitudes, women sometimes and women you all know, you get in your fit sometimes and instead of you talking it out, or letting us know what's going on. You want to get in
Mm.
your feelings. You want to not cook. You want to get these attitudes. You want to put us down as men. What you don't understand, every time you put us down, you're breaking us down. You're making us less
Mm.
than man. Okay?
Wow.
And you really make us feel some type of way. And you get these little attitudes, and nighttime comes up. Man feeling some type of way. He wants to set you roll over, rub his wife, whatever, and make love to you, have sex, whatever your verbiage you want to use.
Hmm.
And you say no, leave me alone because you got attitude. You say no, you turn over, turn your butt the other way, away from him, slide over the other side of the bed, and instead of you, being a wife, being understandably upset, something bothering you, talking about it, you know, you turn around and take it out on the man, and you withhold
Mm.
sex from the man, and you do all these other type things that what you don't understand, you're damaging your relationship, you're damaging your marriage, and you're damaging yourself. Because this man's gonna get tired of that. I don't care
Wow.
how mad you are. I don't care what you're going through. I don't. If this man ain't did something that's just downright, disastrous to you, please don't play with the sex.
Wow.
Don't play with the sex. You know, what you don't do, somebody else will.
Mm.
And after you do that for a while, this man's mind gonna start drifting a little bit, and you're gonna have issues, gonna have problems.
Wow. 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 And you know what's interesting? You're speaking very, very transparent and very direct. The second thing I was going to say is that you definitely need to. You said that he talked to her, and you also said that that they did have communication. I didn't ask you if they do therapy, but I definitely don't agree with. I'm not cool with the. Let me just say this. I got to put that out. I'm not cool with the other chick that if she knew that they were married, because of course, this is what I don't like about chicks. If you know that someone is terribly unhappily married or married, period, just period, and you turn on all your, of course she gonna turn on all the great things, to make him feel like, especially if he's a real man, he's not a poor pitiful guy, and he's got his stuff together, and she's single, and maybe she's wanting to marry him or whatever. I'm totally not cool with another chick like turning it up for that man because he's in a vulnerable state. I don't like that. I'm talking to the chicks right now, okay? Because I'm a chick, and I actually met a guy recently. I think I told you about this, and he told me at the last, kind of like I won't say at the last moment, but he waited a minute before he told me he was married, and I said, look, it's cool that you're married. That's awesome. I said, I should have known better because you're never available after 8 o'clock at night. Okay. I said, but I don't know your wife, but that's my sister. And that's not cool because guess what? He was in a very vulnerable state. He always seemed like he was so stressed out all the time. He's about to fall over everything. I could have easily, as a single woman, turned it up and been that perfect person. If I was in that place of putting on masks like I used to be. But I didn't do that. I said, no, that's my sister. I don't even know her. So I have a problem with chicks that turn it up for a man that is being broken. He's broken, and you can tell he's broken. And now, look, I'm not making excuses for the chick who might be breaking him or might be creating an environment for that. And that's why we're talking about this tonight, because you know what? Shame on us if we have a good, real man that is providing, and then we're married, and we're denying him sex, we're denying conversation, we're being petty, messy, and loud. That's not cool. And then we want to complain because somebody else, Lisa, I see you, sister. I see you. I see your messages. I see you. I'm about to put, and we complain because somebody else comes in the picture. Now, okay, that man was in a vulnerable place. It doesn't make it right that he drifted. Okay, but for all intent, if he's screaming out for help and we don't do therapy, we don't communicate, we just rebel and we get all extra, it gets, listen, there's counselors everywhere. There are spiritual counselors. I'm talking to y'all. There's spiritual counselors, there's regular counselors, therapists. And sometimes you need to hear something like this. A man who's saying, look, y'all be tripping. I'm out here working my tail to the bone, and I can't get my wife or my significant other to just respect that, have a conversation with me about some things, stop denying me stuff, And I see Sister Lisa, you said all strong relationships have 3 things in common: trust, commitment, and vulnerability. Wow. Trust allows a couple to know that their partner is there for them, truly cares about them, is coming from a good place, and supports them. I love it. I love it. I see she was listening to us talk to my guest, and I see she was putting her comments in here. She is like all in. I love it. I love it. I love it. And that's real talk. That's real talk. We have to, however that man and that woman got in that place, he was in a vulnerable spot. And like you said, we're the backbone of the relationship as it relates to certain parts of it. Y'all depend on us for things. I heard you say that.
Yeah.
As a nurturer.
Yeah.
So instead of, I just thought about something. Like, this is real talk. Like, I know we talked about this, like when we were younger, like who taught us how to be a wife? Like what to do and
yeah. Well, men, women, I mean, some of us have been raised by single parent households, whether it was a man or a woman. And of course, women, sometimes being raised by mom, have seen certain things mom went through very early on. Different guys, different relationships, mom mad, mom hurt, mom crying, saying, damn these men, men aren't crap. and bashing men, and the young girl, she hears it. She doesn't know any better. She just sees her mom hurting, and here's what her mom says, and her mom's not explaining to her, what happened, what's going on. She's just going
Mhm.
through things, and in the daughter's mind, that's all she sees. So she grows up not only not knowing how to treat a man, but she
Wow.
grows up in the back of her mind thinking about all the stuff that her mom went through with these different guys in different situations and how these men hurt her. At the end of the
Wow.
day, she's got all this pent up, anger, towards men, subconsciously, and it translates in her later on relationships, and it makes for a bad situation. When she
Right.
turns around and gets married, or she has different relationships in her own, as she goes on with her life. And
Yeah.
a lot of women that don't grow up, and I'm not saying all women, a lot of
Right.
women that don't grow up in a two-parent household, sometimes they don't get to see how the mom treats the man. They
Mm.
don't have that male figure around, to see, how they're supposed to be treated. So they
Wow.
grow up, looking at TV, Atlanta Housewives, Basketball
Yep.
Wives, and all this other crazy mess, and they think that's real. They think
It's
looking at
not.
TV and the different situations they see on TV is how a woman's supposed to treat a man, and that's
Right.
not true. That's not how it goes. And it makes a dysfunctional relationship later on in life, and things just kind of get crazy,
Yeah.
and I think that's why we have, of course, so many issues in marriages and relationships, high divorce rate. It's just they just don't know. It's not their fault, but they're just not taught. They're just not shown early on, how they should treat a man. Same thing with a man. A lot of times they're raised in single parent households, and don't know, they're not taught how to treat a woman.
Mm.
And they don't have that male role model around to show them,
That is
so
so
it works
true.
both ways.
And then history repeats itself, right? A lot of
Absolutely.
times.
Absolutely.
I see Lisa Richmond. Thank you for your comment. She said family dynamics play a serious role. And that is true. That is true. I'm also a big, fan of the fact that you can create your new legacy. You don't have to, because listen, if I was, quite frankly, many of you've read my book. If I was, if I followed what happened in my family, um, which some of those things I did follow. That's why I had some really poor relationships. Okay. I'll be the first to say that. But there's a lot of times I knew exactly what I was doing and it wasn't right. Okay. And so I'm a big proponent of shifting that thing. You gotta reshape the legacy that you leave, because you gotta stop the curses, stop those cycles. So you're right, but I think we all have free will. Surely we knew right from wrong when we heard mama saying that man ain't right, or you heard daddy, or you saw daddy slapping mama. It looked like it hurt, so it's probably not right. you know I think a lot of us just, and I'm going to put it out there, a lot of us are, sometimes we're too lazy to go out and do the research, or too lazy to really invest. And that's a key to a good relationship. When you invest in wanting to make that relationship work, you know that it's work. you know and so you sometimes you make a conscious decision to shut up, or a conscious decision to speak out. And when you speak out in love to your mate, and take your time with it. You don't just retract and hold back. And I mean, that's never going to be right. Yes, I see what you're saying, Lisa. I hear you. Break the chains. We have to. Because like what our guest is saying to us, he's like, you know what, it's probably not their fault. They see certain things as they grew up. Um, but I also hear you saying, my brother, that it's still not cool. It's still not cool. That's why we lose good men. And I'm not talking about losing a good woman at this tonight. I'm talking about why we as women lose good real men. And then they go to the next relationship, the next marriage. It happens. Even in Christianity, it does happen. People get divorced and they go other places. I hear a lot of noise in the background, brother. But they go to other relationships, and then the woman who was in the previous relationship is looking like, wow, they're having a great time, and he never did that when he was with me, and you know, he seems so much happier. But I wonder why. Why is he happier? Why? So, you know, so thanks for that. You gave us a whole bunch of stuff to think about. I mean, you know, it was something else you said. It sounds like are you fixing something? What are you doing? Are you building a home tonight? What's up with that noise?
No, I'm not sure if it's the connection or not.
It sounds like you got a whole bunch of marbles or something.
No,
Okay,
I can hear it, but I'm not sure if it's the connection or what.
I got one more thing I got to ask you before we close out. You said something to me about comparison. We were talking about that, about what happens when you don't necessarily leave a woman for comparing you to her previous man. Okay, you don't think men do that, real men. But
No,
you said a real man is secure or something. What were you telling me about that?
real men are secure. They're not insecure. I don't care what you say to a real man to try to break them down. Whether you're mad, angry, upset. A real man that won't bother a real man. He's not insecure. He's secure himself. He knows who he is. He knows his self worth. You know, um, and that's another thing. Women are supposed to build men up. They're not supposed
Mm.
to break a man down. I don't care how mad you are. You don't tell a man, excuse my language, ladies, that he ain't shit.
Uh-oh.
Okay? You don't tell him that he ain't this, he don't do that, and you know darn well he does. Just because you're angry, you want to tell him what he don't do or how he ain't doing this for you, and not really realizing what you're doing to that man. You're breaking that man down. You're supposed to be building your man up. You're supposed to tell him how thankful you are for the things that he does. You know, you're supposed to praise him, for how he treats you, how he takes care of the house. All those small things. You don't realize how important they are to a man. That's what makes a man feel like he's needed. He makes him feel like a king when you praise him for doing those things for you. Okay? And that's what builds him up and makes him want to go through brick walls for y'all. You don't
Wow.
realize that. You guys want to get mad, get angry at all these little small trivial things and say all this smart crap to them and break them down. And at the end of the day, you wondering what happened. A man don't just wake up and want to look at every woman walking down the street. A man don't wake up and get whiplash because he's looking left or right at this woman and that woman. It just don't happen that way. You have that man captivated when he married you. You have to
Wow.
understand how to keep that man captivated while he's married to you. And the main thing that you have to do is make that man feel like a king. Let him know how much you appreciate him. Let him know how much you appreciate when he does different things for you. Let him know how much, um, you love him and need him in certain ways. And that man will literally break down walls for you. But when you start putting your man down, talking to him crazy because you're angry, you're mad, saying things, and you should always think twice before you speak. You don't ever say the first thing that comes to your mind out of emotion. You think twice before you speak, and usually you have to come back later and say, baby, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I shouldn't have said that. Those I shouldn't have said that thing stay in the back of a man's mind. You can't erase them.
Mm.
You can hit them.
Wow.
You can throw a pot at them. You can hit them. I don't care what you do. An action to a man goes away. But when you say things to a man, you scar him. And after so much scarring, you can't fix it. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are, where you are, how long you've been married. If you done scarred that man so many times, I'm a man. I'm telling you, I'm a real man. If you scar that man so many times, you can forget it. It's done. Because that
Wow.
stuff's gonna stay in the back of his mind. So,
That's
ladies, always think twice before you speak. Don't come out that with the first thing come to your mind because you're upset, mad, emotional at the time. Don't say the first thing that come to your mind. Think twice before you come out your mouth. You shouldn't have to come back and apologize if you think twice before you speak.
mm.
Every now and then, yes, I get it. We all slip up. I slip up sometimes, but it's every blue moon because I think twice before I speak.
Wow. And again, we're talking about real men. If you've got a real man that, someone who's a solid man in your relationship where the good outweighs the bad. Um, and Lisa, I see your comment too, sister. You said you are supposed to build each other up. And you're absolutely right. So tonight we are talking about how she got your successful seconds. Okay, we actually we are going to later talk a little bit more about flipping it around where we're talking about what the man can do better. Right, we're going to talk about that. Real talk with we've got several women that are going to be on the show talking with us about that. Um, but it's always good, I think, to hear a man's perspective, especially a real man. He's coming from a place of all the things he's telling you that's happening right now, or that could happen with a man, are things that he, in his mind, from my interview with him, not in his mind, but factually, is what's happening. He's doing those things already. He's building he's done those things before. He's built the woman up that he was with, or he's seen his friends that are in these kind of different relationships where they built their women up before and they were doing it consistently. And, his counterparts or coworkers or employees or whatever, or the people he networks with, he's seen them, real men, not the ones that are boys, but the real men were doing those things. They were providing and they were building their woman up, and they were trying to do the right thing, but the woman was not. And so, that's where he's saying, thank you, sister. I see that she said truth. That's what he's saying, where he's like, look, I done seen it with all of them. I got a whole bunch of friends and, I've witnessed it myself. This is what happens. This is how you as women lose us, the good men. And then you wonder why we divorce or we separate. And as a minister, I always have to throw it out there. God doesn't, listen, he gives us free will. So sometimes we make decisions to be with people that was not ordained by God. So don't be saying, this is no, because sometimes we knew it at the altar. It wasn't right. And we did it anyway. And so it didn't last. Okay. And so, we have to be cognizant of that too. I have found one yet. You haven't found one what yet, sister? Tell me what you mean. You haven't found one yet. You haven't found one what? Text me back. Text me back. But I really appreciate this, brother. I really appreciate, yes. Oh, wait, I see it. She said, I'm waiting on God. I hear you, my sister. I hear you. I mean, it's, you know what? And listen, yes. Me too. But brother, I appreciate you and your candor. I mean, a lot of people, because it's late at night, a lot of my family members and my sisters around the world in the UK and in Africa, they will watch first thing in the morning. While we're asleep, they'll be watching this. So I know that we'll get a lot more comments from that. I really appreciate my sister Lisa on here. Really very active comments. Really appreciate. We're going to invite you on one day. And really appreciate that. And appreciate the fact that you are a counselor. There are some good counselors out there. And we recommend that for relationships that, they're in that place where they're not completely broken down. But I really want the women to, if you don't hear anything else, you heard this man say, think before we speak. I'm just saying, talking to the women because I know how we can be.
Think twice.
Mad at me. Think twice before you speak. Build your man up instead of tearing him down. And Sister Lisa said, thank you for being so honest. I mean, it's real talk. And that every time you breaking him down, every time you nasty and mean and withholding things and stopping things and all that, you are breaking him down. And he needs to hear positive reinforcement that you appreciate what he's doing, whether it's a little or a lot. When he's coming home tired and he's getting in late and he's working late, and don't think he's cheating all the time. Sometimes we do that stuff. We always think the man is cheating. He just might be unhappy and he needs you to resuscitate that relationship. You know, and I wish we talked more about this in our churches. We need more counselors in our churches, singles ministries and couples ministries. And you know, at Empower Woman, I'm just real about talking about real. Okay, it might not be the way people like it. They might want to do it behind closed doors, ignore it, and talk about me talking about it. But listen, I'm obedient to one master, and I'm super excited that this guy came on and he was real. I mean, real, and you know, I mean, real. You really, real. And I see what you said, sister. You said truth. Be mindful of words. They hurt. They hurt more. And women, we good about throwing words out there because we think it's going to get a reaction. Just like we think a lot of times if we spank our kids, it's going to make it right. All kids can't get a spanking to do right. I know the Bible says spare the rod to spoil the child, but you guys really read all those verses for those who go to that verse when they get ready to beat their kids. You know, I just have to throw that out there because you have to do certain methods for certain things. You know, certain men are different. The man you dated last time is different from the man you're dating this time. You know, and you have to really understand their past, understand their current, understand where they're going. And they're expecting us as women to do that. They are expecting us to figure them out. They're expecting us to get it. They are, because we're nurturers by nature. We just are. That's real talk. I don't need a degree to tell you that. I've had a lot of good relationships and a lot of failed ones. And so I've learned a lot over the time. But this brother said clearly, they begin to pull away. And if they pull too far away, it's really hard to get them back. So I really pray that if any of you are going through that right now, you see that your mate has pulled away from doing the things he used to do. I need you to check yourself and see what things you used to do that you don't do anymore. Check yourself and see if you had the conversation with him, if you're listening to him, if he's feeling the warm and fuzzy. And I pray that it's not too late, that you didn't wait and let him retract so far that he's not coming back. The real men, of course. We're talking about real men. Real men. Stop holding stuff back, see. Stop holding stuff back. You can't put a grown man, a real man, on a punishment. That it don't work like that. They're not kids. Lisa said, talk about it. That's right. You can't put a real man on a punishment. Been there, done that many years ago. That don't work. It does not work. I'm gonna show him like you got your body is 24 karat gold. They don't make 24 karat gold no more. And like I heard my brother say, when he married us, when the man married a woman, he's already sold on you. It's hard enough to get a man to commit. So when they commit, that's real talk. You got to turn it up the right way. And this is for everybody. And I do want to say, all those relationships that we see out there, we see the couples together all the time. And we see the pastor and the first lady together, and we see all, and it looks like it's perfect. It's not perfect. Marriages take work. They take a lot of work. They take a lot of patience. And I hear my sister say, talk about it and also let it go. Let it go. All right, brother, before we close out, do you have anything else that we did not cover that you want to kind of throw out there for the ladies?
Not at all.
Closing advice?
Not at all.
No.
Any questions anyone might have, I'll be glad to answer any questions. I mean, it doesn't matter. Put it out there, and I'll give it to you real.
And a lot of these questions might come first thing in the morning or in the midday when they come through. I'm going to throw them out there for you. A lot of them will come on YouTube really late, and on the other social media mediums a little bit late too. But as they come in, because it is 10:23, I will make sure that I'll let you know.
Nope.
Everybody is sitting at home single like me at 10:23 on a Friday on a podcast. Somebody might be having date night right now, so they're not on here. And high five to y'all. But for the rest of you, do not let her get your successful seconds, okay? Take care of home. Relationships, the Bible says when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. Make sure you prove him right. All right. I love y'all. Brother, if you'll hold on just 1 second for me. Love you, love you, love you. I see a few more people coming in. You can hit rewind. I'm about to go to bed. So, you know, it's been swell. And I thank this brother for his candor. I don't know what that noise is in the background, but it's about to drive me nuts. And I'm not going to be able to fix that. I wonder if I mute you, if it'll go away. Let me, hold on. Oh, is that me I'm muted? I muted myself and not you. That's even funnier. That's you. That is you. That is you. All right, y'all gonna have to rewind. I had to mute him because there was a lot of noise in the background. It's all good. I hope this was helpful for many of you. It was very helpful for me. Please put your questions in the comments. Again, he was very, very, very candid. And listen, he didn't hold anything back. Well, he might have, but he'll answer it if you ask him. Okay. Appreciate y'all. See you tomorrow. You cannot miss tomorrow. You cannot miss tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. You have to see this. 32 million viewers. Who's going to take a stand? We look forward to seeing you all on tomorrow. Hold on, my brother.